now in another 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot more craziness to talk about. And if we don't have enough craziness, I'll create some to talk about. And then 8/24, August 24th, the Roots of Your Pharmakia Healthcare. That has been rescheduled. I was so looking forward to that back in June, but we had a little wedding and honeymoon that we had to take care of. So we pushed that further down kick that can down the road to August 24th. August 31st, Darkness to Light, Exposing the Lies Part 4. And on September 14th, we're doing Deadly Docs, Done Dirt Sleep. How many of you know what that one's about? Deadly Docs, Done Dirt Sleep. No, it's not an AC/DC song. It's going to be a class. We're going to talk about, it is an AC/DC song. We're going to cover an AC/DC song in that class. Deadly Docs, Done Dirt Sleep. That's one that we moved from June as well, right? It might have been like late May. Deadly Docs, Done Dirt Sleep. And then to finish out the Q3 class schedule for coming up soon, for this 2020 is Healthline 2020, The Plot Behind the Plague, Part 2. How many of you know we're probably still going to be experiencing some of the aftermath of some of this stuff in September? I don't wish that on anybody. However, based on the last couple of weeks, since last we saw you, it's gotten a little crazy. How many of you know? Yes? All right, so here goes. Getting started. So first of all, we're going to pray real quick because, the craziness that's going on, and this is divine design, natural health. We're not going to, I'm not lifting up my name. I'm lifting up his name. So how many of you know that's the right thing to do in a situation like this? Because there is an attack going on against the church. There's an attack going on against your health. There's an attack going on against Christians. And we all know this. We all know that there's a big attack going on. So I'm just going to pray over this. And we're going to be done right at 7 o'clock as fast as we can. And we're going to blaze through a ton of stuff. We've got a lot of videos, audio, websites, documents to rage through. So I'm just going to pray real quick, and then we'll get right down to business. How's that sound? So we're going to raise up your name, Lord, and we're going to say thank you for peace through all of this craziness. We know that there's an agenda. We know that there's massive things happening out there that are making people fearful, where they're losing their jobs, their income, all kinds of stuff. And we are preaching peace and pleading the blood of Jesus around everything, around this business, around all the people in this crowd, our patients, everybody. We thank you for discernment, and we thank you for understanding. We thank you for wisdom through all of this. We are not going to be affected by this fear. You give us peace that transcends all understanding, and we're going to call upon that right now in the name of Jesus, and we're going to talk about the truth. Amen. Hallelujah. So, we have the proof of all of this. We have the evidence. We have the authority. People have a lot of opinions on TV and columns and TV shows and stuff like that about what's right and what's wrong and what's true and what's not and what's conspiracy theory and what's not. But when you're talking about Jesus, you're talking about Christianity. You're talking about, we have the proof. We have the archaeology, we have the science, we have the chemistry, the biology, literally from A to Z, astronomy to zoology. So why do we not stand up and talk about it? We've got the humdinger. We've got the icing on the cake. We've got the number one thing. We've got prophecy, correct, fulfilled prophecy, contained in a book written by 40 different authors in 3 languages, 3 continents, over 66 different books, and on 3 continents, over 1,800 years of recorded, more than 1,800 years of recorded human history, and we act like it's just somebody's opinion sometimes. So many people do. Many people think, oh, well, that's how you feel. I don't really believe that. Well, I'm sick of hearing that. Christians need to stand up and say, this is what the book says. And I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, this is what this whole, we're on hallowed ground right now. This is church property, Church of God of Prophecy, right across the street here. So we're on hallowed ground. So it's a business that's based on the word. It's a business that's based on divine design. How many of you notice it doesn't have my name on the door? It's got his name. So I'm a little tired of what's going on right now, and we're going to talk about some ways that we can change that, we can improve that. But what I'm seeing going on, and what's sickening me more than anything, is the attacks on your health, and the attacks on the church, and the attacks on our freedoms. So that being said, we need to stand up and embrace those proofs and those truths and that authority that we have. Does that make sense, or does that make sense? Yeah. Fabulous. So just remember, some scriptures, perfect love casts out fear, right? So what's going on in the world right now? Is it fear or is it faith? It's fear. It's all fear-based. It's all fear-based. There are 2 things in this world, 2 emotions, 2 powers, 2 forces, fear and faith. That's it. Or you could say fear and love, because faith is love, right? So if you're motivated by fear, you need to re-examine where you're going, and you need to re-examine what your motivation is. You need to re-examine what you're hearing. If you put fear in here, what comes out? Fear. If you put faith or love in here, what comes out? It's like the ancient, the illustration, Native American says, a warrior talking to a young brave, and the young brave, says to the warrior, I have, this fight between in my mind between a white dog and a black dog, or a white wolf and a black wolf, and the warrior says, well, which one wins in the fight? And the young brave says, whichever one I feed. Whatever you feed is going to win. If you're feeding faith, it's going to win. If you're feeding fear, you're going to win. If you're watching TV, which one's that feeding? Fear. Period. End of story. So here, what we're trying to do, and what we tried to do last week, and what we're trying to do, continuing to do, is we're going to build community. We're going to build, because community, the root word of community is communication, right? You can not have community without communication. So what we did last week was we brought in a movie that gathered a lot of community around us, and we had communication. We talked about what was going on with the whole injectant debate and the whole, pro-choice, pro-jab debate. It's my body, my choice. It was so popular years ago, certain people, but my body, my choice when it comes to shots and injectants, different story, see? So we're going to turn the table on some of this nonsense, and we're going to talk real brass tacks. So what we're trying to do is build communication. So we're sculpting this out of nothing, but it does, and we're doing it separately from the modern idea of what a lot of people would think is church, because right now church is under the attack. How many of you would say you understand that, right? Yeah. So now church, a lot of times people say, well, church is a building. No, church is not a building. Church is the group of people. And actually, when you look at it, the Greek word translated church in our English versions of the scriptures is ecclesia. That means assembly. So how can you have an assembly on a Zoom call? Does that make sense? I know it doesn't, but we're gonna make more of it not make sense here in just a short amount of time. So get this pattern. I want you all to think about this, and when you understand this, come on in. When you understand this, you'll understand why certain things have been shut down, right? So churches, schools, you've all heard churches are shut down, abortion clinics are open. Yeah, but take it a step further. Let's think about what actually has been shut down. Okay, churches, schools, salons, bars, casinos, restaurants, those type things. What is the pattern? I'll just take this out to the crowd. What is the pattern right there that you see? What do all those things have in common? What is it, Will? Meaning what? Social element meaning what?
Community, talking to each other.
Community, talking to each other. Those are the places that are shut down. Does that make sense? What happens when people talk to each other? Ideas get exchanged. What else? Develop relationships. What else?
I was just going to say
create relationships. You couldn't have a reformation or a revolution. I hate to use the word revolution, but let's say reformation of something if people aren't communicating, can you? So think about it this way too. Anywhere that conversations occur, or anywhere the ideas or reformation can be expressed or exchanged, right? So what does that tell you about, if those places are shut down, what does that tell you about your communication? It's shut off. Then on top of that, you put what?
Stay home and watch TV.
Stay home, watch the fear, and do a what? Put a face diaper on.
Yeah.
And then you're stifling through the breath, through the nostrils, the breath of life came through Adam. So you're not only supposed to speak the word, but you're supposed to be made in his image. So what are we doing when we're wearing a face diaper? And shutting our mouths, being subservient little serfs, slaves. And these are the exact same people who are griping about slavery. So thus the mask. So all that communication will then be driven online to sources of digital record keeping like Zoom calls and all these other things that are now recorded, right? So just keep that in mind. So here's another thought. So the two top places that are closed down are churches and schools. What happens at churches and schools like in November? Where does all the voting happen? It's interesting. Yeah, put that together and you kind of, light bulb goes off. So that's one little place that we're going to go down this rabbit hole today. We're going until about 7:10 tops, and then we're out of here, okay? So here's a little thing that I created this. We're doing this every other week now because we're doing the well works every week so that you can have a little outlet so people can understand we're building community. It'll give you more times to spin the wheel. Yeah. But we're also doing it so that people can come and get information on all the stuff they don't have time to read or watch. I've got my ear to the ground. I've had my ear to the ground since this thing dropped on March 11th, 12th, 13th. I've watched it all. I've seen it all. I've listened to the top PhDs. I've listened to the top MDs. I'm watching documentaries. I'm watching podcasts. I'm reading books. I'm reading articles. I'm watching websites. I'm checking out everything that you guys don't have time to check out. So I'm just going to disseminate a whole bunch of information because I am sick and tired of seeing what's going on out there, and I'm sick and tired of seeing the church close down. So is this going to be popular? Probably not. But nothing that ever gets accomplished in this world happens from a mediocre, average, take on things who are just afraid to speak up. Nothing on this planet that ever changed anything was done by somebody who was afraid to step on somebody's toes. And I'm not saying I'm doing that on purpose, but is it going to be something everybody likes? No. Is it going to be something that everybody agrees with? More than likely not, in the world of ever-changing opinions, like what kind of chromosomes you have. No, it's probably not going to be popular, but I got to do my job and speak the truth because I'm watching all of this stuff going, if it's difficult at times for me to tell who's telling the truth, how hard is it for other people, who maybe don't know about medicine or microbiology or the size of a virus, or don't know if, this study was sponsored by this pharmaceutical company, and this study over here was just a bunch of PhDs who got together and said, well, this stuff that we're doing doesn't work. Here's industry science versus independent science. And people sometimes can't tell the difference between the two. So I'm going to disseminate a lot of stuff to you. Here's the first thing we're going to disseminate. The coronavirus is a lie. It is a complete and total lie. You need to know this. Are people dying? Sure. Are people dying of other things? Sure. Are people dying of a virus? Yes. Are people dying of a bacteria? Yes. Are people dying of parasites and fungus? Yes. Are they dying of cancer? Yes. Are they dying of heart disease? Yes. Do you get the point? People are dying. Is it going to be popular if we say, well, so-and-so says that, so-and-so died of COVID? Well, you know what? There's a lot of really, really funky reports out there about death certificates. There's a lot of really inflated numbers. There's a lot of fraud being admitted on the numbers, and even on the lamestream lying media news, they're even saying all the numbers are jacked up. I'm not saying people aren't dying. What I'm saying is people stopped dying of cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, hypertension, all the other stuff, just magically with the flu and the pneumonia and all the other stuff that's going on. People just magically stopped dying of 656 other diseases since March 11th. So it's a lie with a 98.5% survival rate, which constituted a global pandemic through which we must now give up all our liberties and freedoms. Well, it's just a mask, really. Have you checked out the goggles thing that's happening? Well, they're just shutting down the churches for a week. Really? Oh, yeah, that was March. That was April, brother. We're in August. You're on month 5 of lockdown now. How do you feel about giving an inch so they can take 12 miles now? What do you think about that? Well, it's just a vaccine. Well, it's just a chip. It's just this. I'm telling you, if you do not know what's going on, they are going to take you to the cleaners, and you are not going to know your butt from a hole in the ground, and you're not going to know which way's north. So it is a lie. It is a blatant, bald-faced lie right in your face, getting you into a ritual of washing your hands, worshiping at the devil vision all night long, sitting there with a face diaper over your God-given ability to speak the word while you're on lockdown. Does everybody like what I'm saying? Probably not, but I don't give 2 rips. I'm not here in a popularity contest. I'm here to save people's lives. I am not here to be popular. Does that make sense, or does that make sense? Okay. So, with the events of the last few months, this is why we're doing this stuff. The team at Divine Design Natural Health has realized that we have the world's greatest patients. We really do. They're educated, they're proactive, they're healthy, and completely unafraid of the current situation and its propaganda. Why? Because when people are empowered and made aware of the very real dangers hidden in plain sight, such as injections, geoengineering, drugs, GMOs, fluoride, they cannot be easily tricked by an invisible virus or its supposed magical cure. This was written back in March. They know their creator's ingenuity is greater than any chemical cocktail made by man. Can I get an amen there? Hiding from a virus. You know how many viruses you inhale with every breath? Oh, Lord have mercy. So in great appreciation, we prepare to deliver more value to our patients by increasing the frequency of our wellness workshops. That's what we're doing right now. The impetus for this decision rests in the fact that your immunity, healthcare truths, and individual liberties are now under attack. This is 4 months old. We at Divine Design need to change that. There are only 2 possible options in your immediate future. Number 1, you believe in personal liberty and sovereignty to decide what goes into your body or on it. Or number 2, you believe that openly corrupt organizations should dictate what goes into your body. Are you guys down with number 1 or down with number 2? Number 1. Even Cora back here is saying number 1. Our patients need us, love us, appreciate us. We know this. Therefore, we will never stop providing very real and essential services for our beloved patients to avoid the same system that is currently exposing itself as corrupt and fraudulent. God, there's one thing I hate. It's lying. It's lies. Oh, there's one thing that I hate. And what you are seeing right now is a massive slap in the face lie. We're going to get to it. You have to appeal to reason. You have to, not emotion. You're going to get in an argument with some emotional person. Oh, so-and-so, and Fauci said this, and so-and-so, and so-and-so died. They're emotional. Walk away. They're not going to logic reason with you. They're not. Get away. You are not going to convince somebody on a Facebook argument about this. You're not. You're just not. Shut up. You're not going to do it. You are not going to convince somebody over Facebook that Jesus is the Son of God. You're not going to do it. How do I know? I've tried. I spent hundreds of hours. Ain't going to happen. If it happens, I will eat my computer piece by piece. So this current situation is not biblical. It is conformed to the world, Romans 12, and in bondage. Or is it conformed to the world and in bondage, or is it free and victorious? When you look out and you see people wearing muzzle muggles, or you see people wearing covidiot bridles, what do you think? Are they in bondage or are they in freedom? When you are standing behind a counter and somebody is spitting into their face stopper behind a plexiglass window, is that bondage or is that freedom? Yeah, absolutely. So unbelief is sin. If we don't believe, if you think that you're saving yourself from a virus and you're worried about that thing and you don't know that God has saved you from 50,000 viruses on that last breath you took, your faith is in a system that doesn't believe in him. Do you get that? I hope we all get that. Or your immune system that God created is fully functional and fully awesome and kicks more butt and is the biggest army that you have ever. It works better than the Special Forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard combined. Your immune system is sick in a figurative way. It's sick. It's crazy how it works. It is the baddest, most militarized army on earth. And you're being made to believe that this is going to fix you with a bunch of alcohol from Purell, a company that you would not support, okay? Made by a company that you would not like, and I won't get into that right now. So none shall buy, trade, or sell without the mask will soon become none shall buy, sell, or trade without the mark. We know where this is going. Mask is not the mark, but it's a priming for it. So we'll get just right into this. So since July 13th, which was the last time we did this class, Darkness to Light, since July 13th, you are not going to believe some of the absolute lunacy and nonsense that has happened. Let's get into this. Exposing the Lies, Part 2. Well, we reviewed the Vax movie already, and we did that. The whole reason we did the Vax 2 movie was to prepare parents for this upcoming mandatory shot thing. We had 60 people in this crowd, 35 of them in here, 20-something down the hall, showing people, hey, this is what's coming in the near future. So that's the whole reason we did the Vax thing. And it's funny because Del Bigtree, I will tell you, this is one of the biggest things that happened. It happened last Wednesday night. We were all shocked. And Del Bigtree was the producer of the show Doctors on TV. Everybody knows the Travis, the ER guy, and they've got the OBGYN, and they've got the plastic surgeon, and they've got the pediatrician. Jim, the pediatrician on that show was actually in Vaxxed Part 2, saying everything we learned in medical school is wrong. So, make a long story short, Del Bigtree was the producer of that show on TV until he saw the injection debate, until he saw the debate on shots. He saw enough people come on his show where he said, there is something to this. This could be the biggest story of our lifetime. He quit all that, won a few Emmys, quit all that, and hopped on and did Vaxxed the movie. Then he did Vaxxed Part 2. And then we showed it on Monday. On Wednesday, his entire site got shut down. Well, his YouTube channel got shut down. They knew it was coming, and here's the video that they did, knowing that it was coming.
Hey everybody, Del Bigtree here.
Watch his face at the very, very end. He is the Braveheart of the pro-science movement.
From the High Wire. This week's show, we're presenting a show like none before. 100% Facebook approved content. That's right, kitten videos. Some of the cutest darn kitten videos we can find anywhere in the world. Not just any kitten videos, I'm talking about balls of yarn. Maybe 2 or 3 balls of yarn. It's really gonna be awesome. And when we're done with the kitten videos, we're moving on to fluffy puppy videos. And I'm not talking about any fluffy puppies. I'm talking about the fluffiest damn puppies we could find anywhere in the world. When we're done with the fluffy puppies, we're gonna move on to epic fails. And when I say epic, I mean epic. When I say failing, I mean seriously, seriously failing. And when we're done with epic fails, how about a TED Talk on tying your shoes? Trust me, we know exactly what you want to see, and that's what we're going to present this week on the High Wire. Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to be... oh, this is the awesome. I hope to see you there.
The look on his face could melt steel, because he knew he was saying they were doing this behind the scenes, because they knew they're just going to do a fluffy puppy video for the bots, yeah, because the AI is listening. The artificial intelligence is listening and totally transcribing all of this and throwing up flags, right? So he was doing the cards to say, we're getting censored, we got deplatformed off of YouTube, right? They knew it was coming off YouTube, and they expected that was going to be their last video on Facebook. And I'm not sure if it's still up. Well,
The next video was live, but later got pulled.
yeah. So they got pulled from, a massive channel, The Highwire with Del Bigtree. I'm telling you right now, it's not on YouTube anymore. Go to thehighwire.com, follow these guys. They are teamed up with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. They're teamed up with a bunch of pro-science, pro-awesome people who know what's going on. They put Vax together, they put Vax 2 together. Go there, sign up for their emails. You're going to learn that you have to sign up for people's emails because YouTube and Facebook are completely deplatforming. All that they'd worked on for years and had on their YouTube channel, I'm sure it was backed up and mirrored to other places, but all of those comments and all of those things deplatformed. Just one click of a button, you're done. That is censorship. Why would they censor that? Anyone? Why would they censor that? Why would? Yeah. Is it for your safety or to keep you safe? Keep you stupid. Yeah. So I'm telling you, if they deplatformed those guys, go to their website, support them, get their emails. There must be something there that is a very, very, very big thing. So Del Bigtree, if Del Bigtree ate it, that's only a matter of time. I mean, come on. We're pushing everything over to other places as of now. Church services are now called super spreader events. God bless the Church of God. Because,
But riots are okay.
But riots are perfectly fine as long as you don't wear a mask at the riot. But super spreader events, because here's the thing too, what gets me about this, the churches are falling for this too. Now, are people dying? Yes. Are people have always died? Yes. Are people dying of car accidents? Yes. Are the car accidents labeled COVID car accidents? Yes. Get over it. People, and especially churches, and especially these recent ones that I've heard of, the comorbidities is just another way of saying on a lot of meds. Comorbidities. When somebody says there's comorbidities, that means multiple means of being morbid. So if you're comorbid, if you have comorbidities, that means you're on a bunch of medications. So take that into account. That's doctor speak for he's on a lot of meds. So take that into account when the next time you hear, well, so-and-so tested positive, here's the deal. Cut this crap. Cases mean nothing. What you should need to pay attention to is deaths. Cases, oh my God. If we took the number of cases of stomach flu every year, you'd think everyone was dying. You watch the news, cases are going on a rise. Surging cases, surging cases, surging cases. Super spreader events lead to what? Deaths or cases? Even if there's the unfortunate, and I hate to even think, the unfortunate event where someone would die. Is there something out there? Well, at this point, yes. Can they stop it? Yes. What is your best bet? We'll get to that. What do you do? Do you just rely on HCQ, hydroxychloroquine? Do you just wait for that to not be banned in your state? What do you do? What can you do to cover your bases and cover your butt at the same time? So it's unfortunate, but church services are called super spreader events while you're able to tear down statues, burn Bibles, and pull people out of cars in massive groups of people. There are no more coins to be found. I love this. Somehow, overnight, in the freest country on earth, we just magically ran out of coinage. Every store, all of a sudden, said we have no more coins. Don't you find that strikingly peculiar? Signs everywhere, from Walgreens to Walmart. Interesting. Our country is experiencing a national coin shortage. Never heard a word about it till right then. Where'd they go? Where did they magically? Did the coins grow wings and fly away? Did someone let them out of their cages? What happened to the coins? The banks are out of coins, huh? Oh, yeah. Right. So, yeah, if you will be using cash for your purchase, we encourage the use of exact change if available. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. So, if it's $21.14, you just pay $21 in cash, run 14 cents on your debit card, and then they got to pay the 3% processing fee. They'll reverse that real fast. They'll reverse that nonsense real fast. If everybody does that, they pay 3% on 14 cents. Think about it. Unbelievable. So coin shortage, yeah, okay, commercial break, ready? Come on up. I'm telling you, this is, it gets crazier. Don't go anywhere. Oh, we need, microphone. Sorry. Here.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Here, I gotcha. Is it on? There we go.
All right, sorry about that.
Go, Andrea!
Yeah,
Yay!
thanks. Danny better be clapping. This is from one of our patients who brings her children here. She said, Titus came in not being able to hear very well, much to his mother's last nerve. After one adjustment, his hearing came back 100%, and he no longer says, "What, Mama? I can't hear you." Everyone is super happy. So that's a win-win.
Wow, that is a win-win.
Yeah.
What's our tagline? Stopping child abuse ahead of time. Isn't that what? Once that kid can hear? Wow. Oh, yeah. All right, so now a little comic relief here. We got a couple memes. Let's check this out. Now, this is not meant to belittle or degrade any churches out there. However, I want you to weigh this in like our prayer earlier, I want you to weigh this with the truth of the word versus man's opinion. What do we got? Don't write letters to these people. Don't get on their Facebook page. But we're advertising it for millions of people to see. We're not. But they're advertising it on their sign for tens of thousands of people driving by. Does that make the church look weak, or does that make the church look weak? That right there strikes just a chord in me, folks. I'm sorry. And we all need, if you don't feel a little prick in your heart from that, you ain't got a pulse. I'm telling you. So all of a sudden, let me get this straight. We made it through all kinds of other thousands of years. We made it through Greek Empire, Roman Empire. We made it through, Persia. The Israelites made it through Egypt. Go back, Babylon. But we're worried about an invisible virus that you can't see. It's unbelievable. Jesus cleans the heart. We disinfect the pew. That we're making fun of it. I'm not. But this is making fun, poking fun. I don't find it funny. Next. And I'm a funny guy. Next. There we go. Taller people face higher risk of catching COVID. This is a real... People over 6 feet tall are more than twice as likely to be diagnosed with the coronavirus. The results of a new survey reveal the global team of researchers, including experts from the University of Manchester and Open University, surveyed 2,000 people in the country as well as the U.S. to determine whether their personal attributes, work, and living practices might play a role. They're going to, I'm telling you, if this happens, I'm moving. They'll have you walk on all fours. I'm telling you, at some point. And I'm telling you, if they came out with it on news, people would start doing it. People would start walking on all fours. I didn't know that one was going to be that funny, but that's for real. Yeah, now let's talk about this one for a minute. I found this and I thought that's a perfect illustration. So the guy rips a big vape hit and then he blows it out. This is what's happening to your precious mask. This is a good illustration of what happens with your precious face diapers. Okay? It goes frickin' everywhere. This is what happens. You've been tricked. You have been tricked into wearing a cloth muzzle on your face so that speaking, breathing, and eating are hampered and hindered. To see who will comply. You have been lied to. All right, let's get back to the fun part. National store chains started requiring face masks. We've got this little thing here. But you know what? Just walk in. Yep. Just walk in. Yep. Walmart, Target, Kroger, Publix, Best Buy, Sam's Club, Verizon, just walk in. What are they going to do? Snitch lines are coming. There's a few states where the snitch lines are getting pretty heavy. But just walk in. Walk in like you own the place. There, that's my directive. Texas recommends wearing them at home. I mean, honestly, they're going to come out. I'm telling you, the goggle thing is coming. We're already talking about the goggle thing. I'm telling you, helmets is next. Helmets. And then after that, shoulder pads and jock straps. I'm just warning you, my prediction, right there. Mark it, cut it, right there. August 3rd, mark it down. I'm telling you, jock straps are coming. Oh, and you heard about this one, Kentucky couple under house arrest for not signing quarantine agreement. We won't even cover that right now. That's just so. Yeah. Well, what we will talk about that. Well, let's just do another commercial break. I like the commercials. Yay, Andrea!
We have lots of comedic and victorious relief this time.
Yes.
This person says, I became a patient about 3 months ago and have had almost all symptoms completely go away or be reduced to a 1 or 2 on a pain scale. The best progress was when I came in sick and was better overnight. I had a scratchy throat, headache, and earache. Dr. Spradlin adjusted me and gave me 2 supplements, and I woke up the next morning, no sore throat, headache, or earache, and I've never felt better leaving a doctor's appointment overnight.
Wow, wait a minute. Is that... Oh, yeah, that's what happens. Take that, doc in a box. Take that ER. Super easy. That's the stuff that's super easy. It's just super easy stuff. Good stuff. And your body does all the work, not me. That's all it is. Okay, so we got another couple of memes here. These are just things that we find and we go, you know what, that's either so true or so funny, we got to share it. Oh my gosh. Who gets it?
Yeah.
Who gets it? Raise your hand if you get it. There are more than 2 genders, as we're going to talk about here in a minute. But then when you go to buy the shirt on Amazon, what are your choices? You can't make this up. There are actually 112 genders. How many of you knew that? So far. We're working on more. Doesn't matter. I've told people this before. I'll say it again. We live in a very dangerous time, a time where your opinion trumps actual science. We live in a time where it doesn't matter if you have XX chromosome, you have XY. If you walk into a courtroom and your opinion now is the fact that you identify as a certain gender out of 112, now your opinion trumps scientific legal fact. That is what the deception we are living in right now. That is what we're living in. That's crazy. And I will call it out until that eastern sky splits wide open. I will call that out. That is nonsense. If your birth certificate says F or M, you are still F or M. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you. Here's another one. 6 feet apart today is better than 6 feet under tomorrow. See, we're kind of tongue-in-cheek, but really that 6 feet apart. Let me ask you this. Why is it 6 feet apart, not 5 feet apart?
So AI can identify.
Yes, that's part of it. But why 6? Why not 7? What's the number 6? Number of man. Right. So if you're distanced from the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, guess what that number comes into? Guess what number shows up? Look at that. If you're distanced from the Father and the Son and the Holy, if you took 6 feet from the Father, you can't communicate 6 feet apart. Man's a 3-part being. So why is the number of the beast 3? Why is that? Isn't man a 3-part being made in the image of God? Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Man has spirit, soul, body. Right? So what would, if you're distant from the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, what would your number be? Think about it. 6 feet apart today is better than 6 feet under. So we're kind of making fun of it, but that's serious. If you're mad I'm not wearing a mask, oh yeah. we got a lot that'll rub you the wrong way. Oh, you just wait. I won't be getting the digital tattoo, the ID 2020, nor the bag of chips. You just wait. Anything else? Okay, so in case you missed it, how many of you know the white coat doctors thing was censored on social media? That came out on Wednesday, I believe it was, yeah. And on the morning of Wednesday, by the time I sped through 2x of it, sped through 45 minutes of it, there was 5 minutes left or something. Between my minute and 32-second drive, including stoplights, from my house to this office, that thing was, boom, censored. That thing was yanked. I couldn't even finish the last 5 minutes. It was yanked that fast. That was pulled down faster than people could watch it. Still ended up getting mirrored all over the planet. However, that video, and for those of you who don't, do we have a link of that? Or did we do a link?
We couldn't find it. That's the only one.
Oh, we couldn't find it. Never mind. No. No, but for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it was a link of, it was a video of about 8 or 10 medical doctors who gathered on the steps in Washington and said, here's the deal. Masks are crap.
This story of America.
Scared me, and I thought they've got me. They snuck up on me. I sounded like the Gestapo, just right in my ear. I almost jumped out of my skin on camera. So, faith over fear. So they said masks are crap, social distancing's crap. You've all been lied to. Fauci needs to take a pee test to see if he's on HCQ. The whole night. I mean, they were all like, they were civil, but they were medical doctors saying people don't need to die. We took a Hippocratic oath to help people. Our hands are tied. You're being lied to. The devil vision's killing you. And we've got to get out of this lockdown. Kids need to go back to school. All the stuff that, that we all know. Well, that movie was coming down, that little video was coming down faster than anything. And then Stella Emanuel, the black woman from Namibia or Zambia, right? Zambia? Nigeria. Well, of course, you've got a bunch of white coat doctors who are getting censored. And of course, then right after that, everybody, the hydroxychloroquine, HCQ, outrage by doctors and pharmacists followed by censorship. So the pharmacists then were having, in some states, it was being banned. This drug was being banned. And then sometimes it was reversed because there was such a public outcry. So you've got a doctor writing a prescription for the hydroxychloroquine, and you've got pharmacists that can't fill it because the drug's banned. I mean, this is just a clown show. This is a complete and utter cluster that has never occurred in all of history before. You've got states banning it. You've got people going out of control. Then, on top of that, and I put this together. This is me. I'll take authorship for this all day long. Medical doctors being censored, disrespected 2020. Try chiropractic. Same has been happening since 1895. Boom. You want to know what that's all about? We got that queued up, right, for the doctor or the doctor trailer. Well, here, let's talk about this for just 1 second, and then we'll get. Well, yeah, let's do this. Many of you who've been patients here have seen this. I want you to understand, back in 1895, D.D. Palmer codified chiropractic. 100 years later, almost 100 years later, in the 1980s, when it was evident for 30 or 40 years that there was a conspiracy going on with the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, and the AMA against chiropractic to censor, contain, and eliminate that profession, it became so evident that what happened? A whistleblower came out. They still don't know who the dude was, but a group of chiropractors led by Chester Wilk got bank boxes full of documents implicating the American Medical Association. This was in the 1980s. American Medical Association, the big pharmaceutical companies, and the insurance companies. You've seen this. If you've been a patient here, you've seen this documentary in the foot spa room. We show it to every single new patient because they need to understand the gravity of the Supreme Court decision in the 80s, why all of a sudden your insurance company started accepting chiropractors. Why all of a sudden a chiropractor could refer to a medical doctor and a medical doctor could refer to a chiropractor, which was previously illegal before that. It put chiropractors on an even keel with medical doctors, only we do not prescribe drugs and we do not do surgeries. That is the only difference. Same amount of education, in many cases more education. However, we learn about physiology instead of pharmacology. Amen. You hear that? So we're going to show this. It's just a couple minute little documentary. The Wilk versus AMA case was the epitome. Was the what's the word I'm looking for? Was the epitome of natural health. If that case had not happened the way it happened, your only options for healthcare would be drugs and surgery. You do not understand how close we were to that being eliminated, being the biggest natural health profession on the planet Earth. If chiro went down, everybody went down. The naturopaths ate it, the homeopaths ate it. All they had to do was take out the chiropractors. But by the grace and the majesty of God himself, he allowed all that evidence, just like with the Brian Hooker and William Thompson CDC whistleblower thing a few years ago that you saw in Vax 1, Vax 2. God held all of this information somehow. Somebody had a conscience, and he shipped it to Chester Wilk, and Chester Wilk versus AMA is what this whole movie's about. Go ahead and play it.
The biggest contradiction in our culture today is calling medicine healthcare. We spend $2.7 trillion per year, and we're incredibly sick as a culture.
I don't think any of us would have a problem spending that much money if we got results, but we're not getting the results for that investment.
I feel worse now than I did 2.5 years ago when I started seeing, I'm told, some of the best people in the business.
Nobody has had the good sense to say, Mr. Morris, we don't know what's wrong with you.
I went to numerous doctors, and my husband said, "What do we do now?" And she looked at him and she goes, she was sending me home to die.
We're seeing patients that truly have had the best healthcare money can buy. They've been to every specialist, and they're sort of missing this important piece.
Alternative treatment has not been allowed to flourish in the medical community. It's basically been stifled.
The AMA's goal and objective was to contain and eliminate the profession of chiropractic, and they did it in the most clandestine way possible.
Put in drug me station, they were trying to put me out of circulation, put me to prison for life. Whenever you have the best results, then we are most viciously attacked by our peers.
I have a report from my family physician which tells how well I am doing. My tumors are leaving my body. Now the FDA is saying to me, no, your doctor is a criminal, he should be put in jail, and he needs to be shut down. This is criminal.
All these things interact and have impact on individual people's lives.
He sat us down and he says, your son has cancer.
They did all these things to try to find some cancer, and every one of those tests came out negative. Yet the doctor still kept saying, well, we still expect you to come, Thursday morning to start chemotherapy.
We have patients that have absolutely no benefit from the surgery we provide.
I had a man come into my office the other day who had 8 back surgeries. He didn't need one of them.
People who had back pain, a manageable problem, they get put on this drug, and next thing you know, they substitute their back pain for a drug addiction.
I almost feel guilty because I'm, let's face it, a junkie.
The pharmaceutical industry doesn't have any respect for you. They're talking about which drug whore to get to promote their products. They have no respect for their whores.
GSK sales force bribed physicians to prescribe GSK products.
Every year, 125,000 people die from properly prescribed prescription drugs.
'Drugs. It's a cost of doing business, but lives are lost.
125,000
This is just one movie about one court case that broke it all open so that you have access to it now. How many people out there do not have access to a place that does what we do? They're driving 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours before they get to a place that even does nutrition. Some people live out in the boonies. You know, you guys avail yourselves of the knowledge that is being brought forth here. Avail yourselves of the community that we're building, like what we talked about earlier. So, national store chains. Yeah, we talked about that. It's just a mask turned into goggles. And we'll probably, yeah, we talked about that. I'm not even going to get back into that. Stella Emanuel's comment on demons. You know, let me just see that meme. I think that meme is in there. Was used as ammo to discredit her. Stella Emanuel was the black doctor who spoke like thunder. Thunder, you know. Don't read this yet, because the funny thing is, Stella Emanuel was up there saying, you know, it's rigged, it's all fake, there's fake scientists, fake doctors, fake, you know, media, fake studies, the whole 9 yards, and she's just calling it all out. Well, the next day, everybody's discrediting her, saying she's not a real doctor, saying she's, well, and remember, BLM, who's speaking? A black medical doctor, right? So remember, let's go back to that. So they publish all this stuff. She also runs a ministry called Firepower Ministries, I believe. And then they go through her stuff, watch her, to discredit her. And they're saying, oh, this doctor believes in demons, you know. And so why she should have her medical license pulled. You should have seen the comments on this stuff. She should have her medical license pulled. A doctor in today's day and age who believes in demons, they ostracized her to discredit her. It's unbelievable. She was saying Fauci hasn't treated somebody in 40 years. It's okay but remember this. It's okay for doctors to be Hindu. It's okay for doctors to be Muslim. It's okay for doctors to be New Age. But you put a Christian, born again, on fire, spirit-filled, rock and roll person who knows what's up, and they'll try to discredit you and pull you down in a second. Hello. So the funny thing is, I'm reading this thing. Read through all that. I'm not going to read it out loud. I'll just let you read through that. I'm reading this thing, going, check. 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 And I'm like, I love them all. I can't pick one favorite. This was done to discredit her, by the way. Can you zoom in? They're all right. She's right. She's right. She's right. She's right. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Yeah, she's right. There's not one of those I could disagree with. And I thought, okay. I guess we know where I'm on her side perfectly. She's exactly right. Let's just put it this way. You shouldn't believe in demons, but let's go to that next slide, or the next website. But it's okay to believe in 112 genders. Look at this. Magic, yeah, I love all these. I love all these. I love all those. It all makes sense. Check this out. How many genders are there in 2020? So this is what it's okay to believe in, but you can't believe in that. Scroll down. Yeah. Agender, the feeling of no gender, absence, or gender, or neutral gender. A gender flux, alexigender. Angenital. Anxiety gender, a gender that's affected by anxiety. I mean, this is, who comes up with this? And you expect me to believe this? Think about it. What's being attacked? Caste gender just means it's not important. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of these are legit. I'm sure some of this is I'm sure some of this is playful. I'm assuming that some of this is absolutely made up. It has to be. But you know, if you go on forums on the internet and you try to fill out stuff, there's multiple different things on a lot of these sites now, rather than just male and female. Why are humans the only ones that, you know, are there multiple genders within the animal kingdom? No. Why would humans be the only ones? Because we're the only ones that are that cuckoo, completely out of our gourds, completely fallen right out of our tree, completely 100%. I mean, look at this crap. Oh, I know this one. I'd pass that one on the test. And there's all the symbols. I don't know. And anyway, and this is not done in a hateful, condescending, horrible way. I'm saying, look at this. Look at the lies. Look at what's happening. It's chaos. It's confusion. It is complete and total confusion. And sometimes people sign right up for this. And they go, yep, oh yeah, I identify with that. And I'm not preaching hate. I'm preaching love, because the only way you're going to love, we're supposed to love people and we're supposed to hate evil. If you're getting along with everybody, you're doing something wrong. I hate to tell you. And I'm not saying hate people. I'm saying hate the evil. We're supposed to hate the evil. All right, so let's keep going. Commercial break. Ready? Andrea. Yay.
So this person has been here for a little while, but recently started bringing her children as patients. She said that her child was having chronic stomach aches and mucousy and sneezing every morning, and he's 9 years old. And she said after only 1 week of reducing sugar from our diet and 100% compliance with supplements, symptoms are completely gone. That's a 9-year-old.
9-year-old.
Yep.
Perfect.
Kids are good at it.
Easy. Kids are great at this. They can do it. All right, let's rock through the rest of this. It's already 7:05. Well, we got started 10 minutes late. But so let me get this straight. There's no cure for a virus that can be killed by hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Say it again.
You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Okay, this one hurts. This one hurts. I'll read them out to you. Dry Run Church of Christ says, Jesus wore a crown of thorns, you can wear a mask. Sure is. Grace United Methodist Church says, mask it or casket. And this one here doesn't have a church sign on it, but it's got a picture of Jesus and then a picture of the mask. For the safety of all, face masks are required to be able to call yourself my followers. Oh my gosh. That's complete and total blasphemy. Complete and total, absolute blasphemy, I tell you. And this one right here, Mount Bridges United Church of Canada says, thou shalt wear a mask in public. Hygenesis 24:1. No. That's what it says. I didn't write it. Making up Bible verses to fit with their agenda, which is by a globalist, Satan-worshiping agenda that you are falling into and believing. Church. I hate to say it. Next. There's for spray paint, mining, asbestos. So this should tell you right here that it's not about your health, it's about compliance, and it's about a demonic ritual that you are performing, that you are a part of, that you're prepping for. This is the dress rehearsal. Let's just put it that way. Next. Or is that it for now? Okay. So let's keep going. This is just in the last 2 weeks, folks. If you've had COVID-19, your plasma could literally save lives. That's what it says. Donate plasma, save lives. So if you're sick from the deadliest virus in history, give us your blood. What do they do with your blood? What do they do with your blood? We'll talk about that one of these days. Unfortunately, Planet Fitness is requiring masks, so I saw the post after post after post after post. A gym, people. Corporate suicide. Complete and total, utter corporate suicide. You are done. I hope not. I don't wish that on anybody, but you know what I mean? I don't wish that on anybody, but that's cutting your throat. How are people supposed to work out? See, go back to what we talked about. The churches, the schools, the gyms, the restaurants, all the places where people do what? Talk. Socialize. Talk. You don't do it at Lowe's. You don't do it at Home Depot. You walk in, grab your crap, leave. You go into a church, you go into a gym, people are changing ideas. People are talking. People are exchanging, stuff like that. Where does, I don't know. Do we have the link for this? All right. Well, let's just talk about it. Let's just get it out there. BLM. Where does the BLM money go? This is sad, but you got to understand where this is going. I mean, this is just unbelievable. We'll talk about this. We did the donate button and all that. Okay. This is not about anything. Okay, so this is the website of Black Lives Matter. Okay. Defunding the police. Think about this. Think about this. Since when have we ever cried to defund the police? But we defend Planned Parenthood. Defund the police. Ridiculous. So go up to here. Go to donate. Let's just check this out. Where's the money go? Who do they support? Oh, did we? Where's? Okay, second link. Oh, right here. Oh, down, right here. Payment? Or what do you mean? Oh, yeah. This contribution made from my own funds or funds. Oh, Act Blue Charities, right here. Registered charitable organization formed to democratize charitable giving. A copy of your latest financial report, blah, blah, blah. Where am I going with this?
Jonathan has the second link that shows organizations they support.
Oh, okay. So Act Blue. So the second link is, so the Act Blue Charities. So it goes to Act Blue, right? And then go to the second link. And just take a second. Bear with us. Is that it? Check this out. So Act Blue Charities, nonprofit political action committee out of Massachusetts, affiliations, Democratic Party, nonprofit technology organization. It names everyone they support. Where is it? Right here. Right here, according to FC data. Where are all the names here? Top of the page. Does not endorse individual candidates. The organization is open to democratic campaigns, candidates, committees, and progressive 501c4 organizations. Groups that use Act Blue pay a 4% credit card processing fee. Boom, boom, boom. Separate fundraising programs, blah, blah, blah. So it basically goes, so 2020 presidential candidate Joe Biden has also used Act Blue for fundraising. It's going towards people who are supporting Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood's original job was to do what? Anyone? Say it louder. Eliminate. Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood was to eliminate. It was eugenics, and it was to eliminate black people. This is how simple it is. You just look at what's going on. That's all I'm going to do with the BLM thing. It's unbelievable. So, commercial break. Yay, Andrea.
All right. So this is a person who's been a patient for a little while, she and her husband both. She said, I had severe bladder pain that dropped me to my knees when I moved any part of my body. After a foot spa, chiropractic, and a new supplement, I was feeling 100% better within hours. I cried tears of joy when I could move something as simple as my arm. My bladder had affected my day-to-day life, but now I feel better than I did before the pain. So thankful for Divine Design Natural Health.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Doesn't Andrea do great with commercial breaks? Yeah. She's so great. It's like she's done it before. Perfect. Okay. Commercial break. Oh, now we got four little thought-provoking images here. We'll check these out. You want to hear a coronavirus joke? Now we are making fun of this because it's the biggest lie we've heard in quite some time. Roses are red, free thinkers are few. If you keep obeying orders, you have a chip inserted in you. That's where it's going, folks. We are no longer questioning this. You know, I kind of came out and stepped out on a limb back in March and said, yeah, I don't like the way this smells. But in the last 4 months, it got real stinky. It's proven itself to be, it ain't going anywhere. Next. Oh, yeah. Love this. That says yearly flu shot. Just doing a swan dive. Hilarious. But funny, the next day after I saw this one, I saw on one of my tactical medical Facebook groups, I saw a bullfighter get a horn right through here, and the horn was coming out of his mouth, and the bull was dragging him around.
Oh, jeez.
I thought, I'm never going to jump over it, but okay. In case you missed it, NFL and MLB are kneeling for the national anthem again. Copernic, thank you. They're burning Bibles in Portland, not Qurans, not Gitas. They're burning Bibles. Why's that? Think about it. What I said at the very beginning, we've got the science, we've got the astronomy, we've got the chemistry, we've got the biology, we've got the history. We've got 3 languages. The Bible, 66 books, 40 authors, 3 languages, 3 continents, 1,800 years. And here's the humdinger. Get ready to swallow this pill, everybody. Correct fulfilled prophecy. No other book. Correct, boom, fulfilled prophecy told ahead of time. Men, names, events, all of it ahead of time. Thousands of prophecies. Yet we're burning those. And then, this is another one. This thing right here came 600 years after Jesus. And one dude came with a message from an angel of light that said, nah, those other 40 authors, 40 prophets with the 66 books over 1,800 years and 3 languages on 3 continents with correct fulfilled prophecy, they're all wrong. Kill the Jews, kill the Christians. That's what that book's all about. 600 years after Jesus. Sound familiar? Oh, by the way, he was reported to be an illiterate pedophile. Where have you been hearing about pedophiles lately? Put that together, okay? Bhagavad Gita's, we won't get into that, but that's polytheism, okay? We'll get into we could teach a whole class just on that, just on those. I teach a whole class on that. How many of you have the Quran on your phone? You should read it. You really should. No books, no paper, no toys. School scenario with positive case outbreak. Check this out. Check this out. We got a video, or is this a link? Yeah. So just, okay. I read this and I thought, God, I hope this does not happen. It's conjecture. I'm not saying this is fact, but this could happen. I will read it. I hope everyone who has kids is aware that when you send your kids back to school in September, there'll be a fake COVID positive case, probably October, November time, right? From some mysterious kid or staff member. What's the betting? The positive test comes back in the middle of a school day. The school will be put on emergency lockdown and your kids will be force tested without you. Those tests will come back positive, and under the new Healthcare Act, they can and probably will take your child to an isolation center. At this stage, the vaccine will be ready, and they will tell you you can have your child back if your whole household gets shot, if you get inoculated. Who would refuse the vaccine then? Not many, if any. The perfect delivery system for a killer shot. That's a conjecture. That's hypothesized. But if they did something like that, who's not going to get the shot? They got your kid. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, they're already, you saw that documentary that we just showed. The parent, the dad, the kid, and the mom that were all, they didn't want the chemotherapy for the son. Medical tyranny. They went and took the son, and they ran. They took the son. They didn't want the medical tyranny. They didn't want the chemotherapy and the radiotherapy, so they took their son, went on the run. They tracked him down. Arrested him. Medical tyranny, saying you have to get your radiotherapy, you have to get your chemotherapy. That's what we're talking about. That movie's 20 years old. And the case itself is, I don't even know, late 90s probably. No, that movie's 10 or 11 years old. That movie, but that case was probably, probably 20 years ago. Anyway, next. Oh, that's Health Nut News. They're soon to be gone off of YouTube, I'm sure. I don't think I trust that doctor's credentials. Oh, look, Bill Gates. Oh, who's the voice of? Yes, funny, huh? Interesting. That show's done, by the way. Taking a break, right? Okay, next. I think that's it for that one. Oh, I love this one. I will read it to you. Here goes. They lied about thalidomide. How many of you remember that? Thalidomide. Anyone? Anti-nausea drug? This was back in the 40s, 50s. Gave it to pregnant women, nausea. Gave it to pregnant women for nausea, morning sickness. The kids were born without arms and legs. They lied about thalidomide. They lied about tobacco. They lied about asbestos. They lied about mercury. They lied about opioids. They're lying about shots. They lied about aluminum and deodorants. They lied about talc hygiene products. That just happened. They lied about hormone replacement therapy, women, HRT. They lied about it. They lied about lead in the paint. They lied about the fluoride. They lied about antibiotics. They lied about saturated fat. Animal fat will kill you. Remember that? Eat the margarine instead of the butter. Keeps going. It gets better. This is a partial list. They lied about raw milk. They lied about pesticides. They lied about GMOs. They lied about natural medicines. Hello. Yeah. What I just told you, that documentary, that trailer that I showed you, was to contain and eliminate the biggest profession of natural health care on the planet. It's called chiropractic. So what's one of the things you can do to set yourself apart? What's one of the things you can do to boost your immune system? Right there. They lied about climate change. How many of you know that? Humans are the scum. Humans are the virus. Humans are the... Who's saying that? What voice is that? It ain't God's voice, is it? They lied about soy. They lied about artificial sweeteners, aspartame, NutraSweet. They lied about LED light bulbs with the mercury in the light bulbs. Oh, these will last longer. Oh, great. They lied about mercury fillings. They lied about RF radiation. They lied about glyphosate. They're lying about flu mist. Okay? They're lying about statins. They're lying about sugar. They're lying about processed food. They're lying about antidepressants. They're lying about antipsychotics. They're lying about chemotherapy. They're lying about radiotherapy. I could list another 40 things on this thing, but we'll stop right there. But they're telling the truth about the COVID. Think about where'd you hear about all this stuff on the media? What'd you hear? Mainstream media. But now they're telling the truth. I saw this and I was like, I almost broke my phone hitting like. How many times can I like this thing? I don't know who put that together. There's no name, no credit to be given on it, but I would love to give some credit to some people. Next, we're almost done. The burning Bibles in Portland. Yeah, we talked about that. No paper toys. Okay, so in conclusion, CDC whistleblower case. I told you about this. Robert the Vaxxed Part 1 movie. Robert Hooker was contacted by William Thompson. William Thompson was a high-level CDC researcher, 2001-ish, 2002-ish. And one of the head guys at the CDC called and told this other biologist, hey, I know you've got an autistic son. I got a problem. We cooked the books. We changed the data. The MMR vaccine did show some link to autism. We cooked the books. We changed the data. We threw some stuff out. I'm coming clean. They recorded all the conversations. Did this make it on CNN? Did it make it on Newsweek? Did it make it on USA Today? No. But that's what Vax Part 1 was about. The Vax Part 2 thing that we showed here last week was 60 people in the crowd. That was Vax Part 2, was just the bus going around the country talking to shot-damaged kids. Okay? So that was the same organization that's giving you all of this nonsense right now and putting all this fake crap out there. Are you going to trust these people? You got a choice to make. Like I said at the very beginning, there's only two things that you have to figure out. You either believe in personal liberty and sovereignty to decide what goes into your body, or you believe that openly corrupt organizations should dictate what goes into your body. That's it. All the conjecture, all the opinions, all the Facebook fighting and feuding and all this other nonsense, boil it down. It's simple. It's simple, simple, simple. All you got to do. That's what this whole fight's about. You decide what goes in or on your body, right? You decide if you're going to let them point a laser at your pineal gland or an infrared gun at the middle of your brain. Hint, hint, hint. Or you decide that you're not going to let them do that. You decide what goes in your body, or a corrupt organization decides what goes in your body. Does that make sense? If they kill me, I win. If they don't kill me, I win. Yep. Either way. Does that make sense? So he's been recorded speaking publicly about decreasing the world's population. You're not going to believe it. Roll the tape. People watch it and they don't even believe it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah.
CO2 is warming the planet. And the equation on CO2 is actually a very straightforward one. If you sum up the CO2 that gets emitted, that leads to a temperature increase. And that temperature increase leads to some very negative effects. The effects on the weather, perhaps worse, the indirect effects in that the natural ecosystems can't adjust to these rapid changes, and so you get ecosystem collapses. Now, the exact amount of how you map from a certain increase in of CO2 to what temperature will be and where the positive feedbacks are, there's some uncertainty there, but not very much. And there's certainly uncertainty about how bad those effects will be, but they will be extremely bad. I asked the top scientists on this several times, do we really have to get down to near zero? Can't we just, cut it in half or a quarter? And the answer is that until we get near to zero, the temperature will continue to rise. And so that's a big challenge. It's very different than saying, we're a 12-foot high truck trying to get under a 10-foot bridge and we can just sort of squeeze under. This is something that has to get to zero. Now, we put out a lot of carbon dioxide every year, over 26 billion tons. For each American, it's about 20 tons. For people in poor countries, it's less than 1 ton. It's an average about 5 tons for everyone on the planet. And somehow we have to make changes that will bring that down to zero. It's been constantly going up. It's only various economic changes that have even flattened it at all. So we have to go from rapidly rising to falling and falling all the way to zero. This equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3.
Let's hear that again.
New vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
People still don't believe it. What did he say? How do you reduce the population? And hold on. Before we go down this road, because people will say, oh, well, you're just misunderstanding him. No, he said it to Sanjay Gupta. He said it to Anderson Cooper. He said it to a half a dozen other reporters. He said it. He meant it. He meant it. He said it. So before you even play that card, here we go. How do you reduce the population? Vaccines. Or if we do a really good job on vaccines, or if we do a really good job on or reproductive health services, which is another way of saying, that's right, in the black and white under your face. You can't make that up.
Sterilization.
Right, which would be a wonderful way to do that would be through what? And that. Because every one of these has not been evaluated for carcinogenicity or mutagenicity, which is a good way of saying breaking your DNA, and number 3, sterility. None of them have been evaluated. None of them have been evaluated for that. Why? Because you can't do it on humans. It's unethical. But it's ethical to give it to the entire population. 2 doses to 8 billion people. That's where we're going. And it's just going to change your DNA. No big deal. We don't really know where that's going. But we talked about that last time. So the last couple things here, school scenario, positive case outbreak, we talked about that. We skipped right through a bunch of stuff there. Com break, we got a commercial break? One last commercial break? Let's do it. So if people don't believe that, they're just ignorant. He said it half a dozen times, numerous times.
All right. This person has also been here for a little while. She said, I came in with hip external rotation pain and decreased range of motion only to neutral. She said following pulse therapy treatment, 80% increase in range of motion and decreased pain by 80%. There's just one pulse session.
One pulse section.
Yeah.
One pulse session. How many of you know what the pulse does? Everybody's been on it? Yeah, we just got another one the other day. It'll be here in 4 weeks. We're growing. While everybody else is shrinking, guess what's happening? We're working, and we're growing. That's what we're doing. Say that again?
Explain what they're doing with your blood when they take it.
Not on Facebook. Not on Facebook. I will. You can ask that after we sign off. Last but not least, CDC whistleblower Bill Gates. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so solutions. Let's just talk about this. Well, first thing is, if you can't kill your television, call me. I'm a television assassin. He'll never see me sneak up on it. I hate those things. I hate them. The devil vision, I'll take it. Well, I'll take it right out back. You won't even notice. So that's the first thing. Get rid of the fear box. Get rid of the one-eyed monster. Get rid of the idiot box. Get rid of the sewage line in your living room. Dump it. Cut it. Smash it. I'll do pipe bombs. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll do sledgehammers. We can do whatever you want. Opt out of the occult ritual. Stop participating. Withdraw your consent. You know, you're into a thing where you are muzzling yourself, and you are in rituals. What do people do? People wear masks, right? I was a theater guy. I went to school 5 years for theater. I got a degree in performing arts. I know how it works. So how does it work? You put a mask on. The Greek theatrical stuff, the Roman theatrical stuff, how did the African theatrical stuff, the Japanese theatrical stuff, the Indian theatrical stuff, everybody wore what? It's part of an occult ritual. I know it well, okay? So you're doing that. Then you're social distancing at the 666. We talked about that. I know it's uncomfortable to talk about. But then you're washing your hands, and you're doing what? You're doing exactly what Pontius Pilate did to absolve himself of washing his hands, correct? But we're doing the reverse of it. We're kind of washing our hands of any, we're using chemical sanitizers. Here's the thing. You want to see how many hand cancers and how many weird breathing disorders you're going to see in the near future from all of this nonsense, people spraying sanitizer and antiseptic all over everything and then sucking it in. It's unbelievable. So, and then you're on lockdown. So you're isolating, right? And then you're washing your hands, another part of a ritual. You're wearing a mask, another part of a ritual. Then what are you doing? Where's your altar? This is your altar. Think about it. And he was given power to make the image speak and talk and move. Think about it. Stand up for your rights to assemble and not bridle or muzzle your face, Christians. Come on. And I have to believe that most places, it's probably because of insurance. I have to believe. It's probably because they have to have now, I found out some festivals and concerts and stuff can't meet because the COVID insurance would be so high. So it's probably the fact that the insurance companies and the lawyers are standing to make a buttload of money off of this with COVID insurance. But somehow, I don't understand how, if they catch COVID at a thing, how would they be able to trace it back to COVID? At that one specific place. Now, we all know the contact tracing stuff is coming, yeah. But how are they ever going to prove that in a court of law that you got COVID at that supermarket? But the churches are running with their tail between their legs because of liability, I'm sure. Stand up for your rights. Decide where you stand before shots are required for your children. We did that Vax 2 thing for a reason, people. And 60 people walked out of here with their minds blown. Some people already knew what was coming. Some people really learned a lot from that, but decide where you stand before something's required, or before it's mandatory, or before it's compulsory, or before you get that call from the school that says, hey, there was an event at the school. We've taken your child to a containment facility. I mean, that's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing that we read. Is it possible? 100%. Yep. So we knew Part 2 was coming around July 4th. We knew this. Do everything you can to build your defenses immunologically and otherwise. Immunologically. Chiropractic blows your immune system up 2 to 5 times. Your nervous system comes on, your lymph nodes comes on, your tonsils come on, your trachea is moved, increasing lung function, your esophagus is moved, increasing digestive function. It is not about pushing bones, cracking necks, and popping backs. Knock that out of your vocabulary. That is not what it's about. It is about stimulating your nervous system because everything runs off what? You don't have an immune system without a nervous system, right? So just get that, understand that. One of the best things you can do, get adjusted just once a month, you know? People do massages, you know, for twice the amount they would pay here to get their nervous system completely jacked up, in a good way jacked up. And that's just talking about chiropractic. What about the nutrition? Think about it this way. All the stuff that's getting censored, probably out of all of that, why is it being censored? There's something about it that they don't want you to know, right? Now, turn it around and say, what is it that you're not hearing on the news? What is something you're not hearing at all? Say what?
Success stories.
Well, how to build your immune system. And how would you build your immune system? Why are you not hearing this stuff on the news? Naturally, with how? How would you build your immune system? Correct. Non-GMO, hippy-dippy, homeschooled, rock and roll. Yeah, vitamins, nutrients, supplements, minerals. Why are you not hearing any of this? And the stuff that you do hear, you're hearing about synthetically derived nutraceuticals like HCQ, which is made by what company? Pharmaceutical companies. But what I'm saying is this, understand this hydroxychloroquine, understand this, it is a drug. Do you want drugs? Exactly. It's made by a pharmaceutical company. But if you're on your deathbed, big difference. This is how you don't get on your deathbed. Head that puppy off at the pass before you get to your deathbed. Guys, I'm talking to you, most of you guys out there, right? They just wait until the tire falls off, and then they're like, oh, I got to fix this. But if it's their Harley, they're shining it on every Sunday afternoon, right? Yes. Yes.
When all the non-talk of eating the good healthy foods, the pizza joints are skyrocketing. Their business is going up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the
yeah.
trap.
Absolutely. So in a pandemic, always... They're getting sicker. They're feeding, their shelf life is decreasing because they're eating food with crap shelf life. They're making themselves sicker. What do viruses, fungus, bacteria, what do they all eat? What does cancer eat? Sugar, found in the bread and the cake and the candy and the pasta and the noodles and the crust of the pizza. So I've said it before. I said it when this thing first dropped, when the third week of March. I said in a pandemic, go for the green stuff because nobody will know how to boil their kale properly. I'm just kidding. You don't boil kale. It was a joke. Bad joke. But what I'm saying is this. Everybody's going to go for the Pop-Tarts and the crap on the shelf that's going to make them sicker. Go for the green stuff. Nobody goes for it. You can walk down any one of these grocery stores and all the green stuff will be rock solid. And the crackers and the cakes and the pastas and the candies that people think are going to make them live longer, it'll be food, it'll make them sicker. So go for the green stuff. Makes people eat crap food. It makes them make bad decisions because we've talked about this. A few weeks ago, we did a Bruce Lipton video. We had this 10-minute thing all about your immune system at the very beginning. So it was wonderful. One of the best immune system videos ever. Bruce Lipton is a biochemist and a PhD researcher who does, it's pretty crazy stuff, really. We won't get into it right now. However, he did a thing on your immune system. And where was I going with that?
Talk about the effects of stress on the body.
Yes, the effects of stress. So if people are stressed out, if people are in a fearful state, you're in a fight or flight response. Where's your immune system? If your body's trying to fight off a bear, it's not trying to get you out of cold or flu land, right? This only comes up when you're rest and digest. When you're calm, when you're cool, when you're collected, your immune system goes up. If you're stressed and you're eating crap food, like Takia said over there, you're eating crap food, you're stressed, you're watching CNN, you're arguing with some punk on Facebook, what's happening to your immune system? So the big thing is know what to do. What do we do here? We do food, we do plants, we do animals, we do liquid herbals, we do homeopathic stuff, we do botanicals, we do whole food nutrition, we do detox, we do the foot spas for food, air, and lung organs. That means your intestines and your lungs and your kidneys. We do sauna for full body. From every cell in your body will sweat. We do the pulse electromagnetic field therapy. You got a problem with 5G? Guess what? I'm your Huckleberry. Let's do this. Let's get this downtown. Then we do chiropractic. We turn all that stuff on. We teach you how to eat. You will walk out of here and we're going to have, are you spinning tonight? Yeah. Oh yeah, we got 3 spinners tonight. We got to get going. We got to get out of here. And then detoxify. We were just talking about this. Bone up on your nutritional status. Avoid self-poisoning. Carry your own hand sanitizer or oils to avoid dozens of chances to be poisoned in public every single day. We went to Mexico where the virus only goes 5 feet instead of 6. I told you. I'm like, the signs are they're not far apart enough. I'm scared. What do we do? Well, the virus here is only 5 feet. Huh? I don't compute. It's a smarter virus in Mexico, man. It can jump farther. So everywhere we were going wanted to put hand sanitizer in. They wanted to spray the bottoms of your feet before you walk into a restaurant, before you get into a car. Do you know how many viruses? Well, you're a science guy. You were watching this. I saw you shaking your head. It's wrong. It's wrong. CO2. Wrong. Wrong. So many things are wrong with what that video was just saying. Yeah. Carbon dioxide.
You know, if without that CO2 greenhouse, we would freeze.
Yeah.
We would freeze.
Yeah. CO2 is not the problem, folks. They've been telling you that to make you think that you're the disease.
Yep.
We'd be hosed without CO2. So, make a long story short, what I'm trying to say. Carry your own hand sanitizer, because everywhere we went, they wanted you to walk through this arch. Demonic ritual? I don't know. Wanted you to walk through this arch with smoke coming out of it, with God knows what kind of chemicals. Then you walk in, they want to slather up your hands with God knows what kind of chemicals. Who's making those chemicals again, by the way? Thank you. And then every time you get in a car, they want to spray the bottoms of your feet. Why? They're not understanding that the little grooves in the bottom of your feet are chock full of the stuff that you're trying to get rid of. You're barely touching it. You have never stepped foot in a microbiology laboratory to understand truly what they're telling you. I will blow your mind with microbiology. Carry your own hand sanitizer or oils, essential oils, roll them on. So you know exactly what's in that bottle. You do not have to be a victim to any of this nonsense because you are being lied to. Does everybody feel better now? Oh yeah, that was a lie. All right. Well, we've got some spinners. So hey, in the next couple of, that's just, oh yeah, let's do it. And so today is the third Darkness to Light, Exposing the Lies Part 2. Next week, August 10th, we're going to do Biblical First Aid Essential Oils Part 3, and we're going to have a guest teacher.
All right.
Yes.
From Facebook
question.
Yes. Stephen asks, what do you think their time frame is to reach their goal? That might be an off-air answer.
Who's there? Oh, the bad guys?
Yes.
November 3rd. Oh, well, the lockstep thing, I don't know. It depends on who's they and whose goals they're looking at. I mean, it just really depends. Just get down with some Jesus before all this crap goes down and don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I mean, who knows? And who knows what's going on? Nobody really knows the day or the hour. Nobody knows what's going on, but depends on which bad guys. Is it the CDC, the WHO? Is it Bill Gates? I don't know, but probably election time. Probably expect very, 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 I hate to say this, but expect some very crazy stuff to happen between now and September 9th. And then expect some very crazy things to happen all of October. And then pretty much the beginning 4 days of November, I would say, would be a safe bet to just make sure you've got plenty of supplies and make sure you're in a safe spot and make sure your neighbors won't rat you out on stuff because it's getting to that point, or your family. It's getting to that point. Yeah. So, yeah, we're getting there. It's faster. We just took 5 years and we smashed it into 4 months. This is what we all knew, what we were all hating to think about happening is happening. Huh? Fast track. It's yeah, it was boom. And all it took was a virus with a 99.98% survival rate to have every American just go, yep, you want my job? Yep, you want my church? Yep, you want my paycheck? Yep, just lay it down. Yeah, just don't let me get the virus. It's just pathetic. 200 years ago, they raised a couple hundred years ago, they raised the price of tea. And people went nuts. That's when men were men and sheep were scared. That's what was up back then. That's what was up back then. They fought for their freedom. They came here for because of religious persecution. Now, what's happening? Religious persecution. And the same people that are giving you the freedom are the same people, that are saying they're going to give you the solution. There's the same people that are openly admitting their plans. Yet still people won't see it. And even people within who believe the same and are watching and reading the same book and going to the same church. It's crazy. So with that, we'll sign off. I'm sure I made a lot of friends tonight. Thank you very much. It's not meant in a spirit of hatred or fear or anything. It's just in a spirit of wake up. It's in a spirit of, come on, have you had enough of this yet? It's in a spirit of, it's just a mask becomes, it's just a mask and goggles and football helmet and shoulder pads and jock strap on your face. That's all it is. It's just a mask. Oh yeah, that's what they said back in Germany. So I'm just sick of it. It's time somebody, but we're going to have a ton of new stuff here in 2 weeks. I mean, it's just going to keep going and going and going. So yeah, it's just not going anywhere, but we're going to disseminate a whole lot of info. I had a bunch of stuff on the docket to talk about tonight we didn't get to. So I'm going to roll that over, and you wait until next time, because we're going to tear up some stuff. There's some big stuff getting ready to happen now. So come to the next one, tell your friends, tell your family, spread this to people who care about the truth and who care about, making a difference in lives of kids and families in the near future. So we're signing off Facebook. Thank you very much. Dr. Brett Spradlin, Divine Design, Natural Health, and we will see you next Monday. Woo! All right, we got a spinner. Well, we have two giveaways. Two giveaways.